I started ShunguDzevana Trust through the children who were living in the streets of Harare. I was approached by 3 children after they lost one of their colleagues who was plus or minus 6 years. He suffocated because as they sleep, they pile on each other like pigs. So 11 of them were piling on each other that night. And it was quite chilly that April 15th morning of 1992. It became a passion, but it was also a calling, because when I grew up, a lot of poor people used to come to my grandmother's house for food or to work in the fields so that they can be given something to take home or something to eat. So when I started the ShunguDzevana Trust, after approached by those kids, I was going to college, but when they approached me, they addressed me as sister. But I didn't have my veil on me, and I asked them why they were calling me sister, or is it because a lot of churches these days, they call each other brother and sister. But they said, no, we've seen through your walking. So I want to believe that that day I was having a holistic, an angel step. That's why they realized that I was a nun. Though I know I walked like a rascal. And they were very happy to see me. So they asked me if I could give them accommodation, which I told them that truly I'm a Catholic nun, but I cannot give you accommodation because I don't have an accommodation of my own. And then they asked me if I can look for a work for them to work, a job. And I told them again that they were underage, but we end up being good friends. I told them that I was going to the college. I was going to finish at 11:30. But when I came down, they were sitting by the staircases, and it was just 10:30 because Mrs. Mshaninga didn't come for a lesson. And they thought I was trying to play them games. So, yes, they couldn't believe me. They just say, Mom should not tamba, Mom should not tamba. We are hungry, get us some food. So I took them in the TM supermarket between Angwa and the Kenneth Kaunda, and I bought them some mazo and 3 loaves and some tumblers. I became interested why they were living in the streets of Harare. So I thought if I go with them at Harare Gardens, they were open enough. So we went to Harare Gardens. But as we were walking in First Street, they were eating their bread from inside. That by the time we got to Harare Gardens, the whole cluster was very dirty, very, very dirty. But when we get there, they went straight to get their water from the fish pond, and they diluted their mazo and drink. So I was thinking by myself that, how can these kids drink this dirty water? They were used condoms in there, plastics, chicken in empty boxes, everything, were thrown in that fish pond, including the fishes were there, those red fish. So after they filled themselves, they started saying, sister, do you want something to drink? Because you didn't drink, you have to eat, you are also hungry. And I said, no, I'm not hungry. So they insisted that you don't want it because we are dirty. So I agreed to their terms, and I said, okay, you can wash 1 cup and I can drink. But they went and washed the cup in the fish pond. So when he came to put the mazo, I said, no, don't get the water from fish pond, it's too dirty. I saw people drinking water from another tap there. So they went and got me water. I drank. I didn't remove the cup from my lips because I knew if I remove it, I was not going to drink it again. But that thought came in my mind that I was in prison, but you did not visit me. I was in hospital, you did not come to see me. And also I was naked, you did not clothe me. So I just said, this is the way we can only see Jesus. I was dirty, you refused to share the cup with me. So because of that, I shared the cup with them. And our friendship started until today. It is important to care for the less privileged because these are our children. You know, people say street kids, but a street never gave birth to a child. And those children who are living in the streets of our country, especially in the streets of Harare, they were not born by streets, but they were born by people, by human beings. There are circumstances which led them to go in the streets, which I understand, and other people I know they don't understand. Yes, there are some children who goes there because they are naughty, they just wanted to be out of the home, or because of laziness. But there are some children who went in the streets because of poverty, abuse, because from the children I started with, they went in the streets because of abuse. So that is how I found that it's very important, because I believe even myself, I was somehow underprivileged, because my parents divorced when I was only 3 months old, and I was brought up by my grandparents. But because of my parents were fighting, no one could take care of me. But my grandmom, my granddad were taking care of me, and sometimes I go to school, sometimes I'm being sent home until my grandma sell a groundnuts, then I go back to school. But by the end of the day, I ended up finishing my schooling, going to night school. So I understand those children, that they also want to be like any other child, to go to school and finish their school in a normal way. But they end up going in the streets, and they end up failing to finish their school. And I'm very proud that, you know, 2 of those children I started with in the street did mechanical engineering. So it's very important to take care of each other, to take care of the underprivileged. That will reduce thieves, we reduce criminals. I managed to become friends with the underprivileged, as I alluded before. That because I was brought up that way. If parents divorced or separate, what suffers is a child. Like when the elephants are fighting, the grass suffers. So the child always suffers. So when I'm looking at them, I'm seeing myself in them, and I know they are saying, we're our friends. We need someone like you. We are also human like you. We want to play with you. So that is how I become, and I continue want to be friend to the underprivileged. It is very important to raise a child in a normal home environment, because if every child needs love, every child need that pam to be pet by their parents, grandparents, siblings. So it is very important, because you see, if you are not in a normal family, no one loves you. You are just like someone who is just going like a stray dog. So if you are in a normal family, you get everything you want. Even your family is poor, they will go and look for sponsors or for food, but in a decent way. But if you are in the streets, you are not getting that decency. But what I've realized, that those children who are living in the streets, those who are genuinely went in the street because of circumstances beyond their control, when they get a chance to come back to a normal family, they use the chance, they use the opportunity, they work hard, they go to school, they graduate, they get good jobs. The role of foster parents in ShunguDzevana Trust is to give love, parental care, parental guidance, good food, looking after those children like theirs, and also counseling them, and do whatever is supposed to be done to bring up a child like your own child. Because if a child is in a foster family, they can go in the fields, they can be taught household chores, they can be taught how to be a woman tomorrow, how to be a man, a father, a mother, a nun, a priest. So the foster parents plays a very, very big role in the organization of ShunguDzevana Trust. It has benefited ShunguDzevana Trust because we've realized that when they finish their A level, they get a job, or they go to school, to a college, or they are still in the college. I've realized that they are unique. Even when they get married, you'll see people flocking from their working place, and speaker after speaker, they will be talking about the decent, the hard working of that young man or young woman. And wherever they go, they've raised the flag of ShunguDzevana. I can give you an example of one of our girls. She did 2 masters in 3 years, and she graduated in the same month. But when she got these scholarships, when she went to China, it was a half scholarship. But because of her behavior and the way she works and she addresses people, she ended up given a full scholarship. And she was fond when she was in China that we got a scholarship from WITS in South Africa. And when she was at WITS, she was one of those who were nominated just to go for a holiday in New York for 6 weeks, everything paid for and money to spend. And when she came back after her graduation, a phone call came from Mauritius that we are sending you. We have bought a ticket already for you. The interview you did like 5 months ago, it's on now. Come and have your job. So she's in Mauritius. As I'm talking, she's working. One young man found another scholarship in Brussels. He's doing a master's in sports and recreation. After another scholarship, he did tourism and hospitality in Cyprus. So all those children have gone through career guidance. So for me, it is benefiting them a lot. And I would want that to continue, even to have more people, because each and everyone has got his or her approach from different diversities. So for me, it's very important. And I think this is the uniqueness of ShunguDzevana from other homes, because we want our children to associate with the society they are living in. We don't want them to be like they are living in a cocoon. It is difficult even for me to say I've got major sponsors. What we were doing with my children here, we would cook sadza, take it to Matalock, they do fit and tanning, and there was another company of transport, and the ZB Bank Western Branch, where we were supplying sandwiches for teas, and we had a very big chicken project and piggery project here and in Mondoro. So we were surviving that way. All these children whom I'm talking about, being engineers, being in boarding schools, doctors, lawyers, they were all sent to school by the monies which we're generating ourselves here. We so much believe in self-reliance. It's unfortunate that these days everybody's selling chickens, everybody's selling eggs, everybody's selling pigs, pork meat. So at the moment, even our fields are not doing well, because we are failing to get money to buy fertilizer, to buy seed in time, and also to get money to hire tractors, because these are some of the things we are dying for. That if we can have our tractors with its accessories, planters, disters, and the plowshares, we can maybe go back, because all our things, our projects went down in 2008, and the country did not have enough in its bands. And if we talk about sponsors, as you see, Mimosa had built a very beautiful village for the children after I drafted my plan and gave it to an architect. And Mr. Chitando came in after I met his wife, after a lot of applications, maybe more than 10. One Saturday morning, just called me and he said, come to my office on Tuesday. And after that meeting, Miss Nerwande called me saying, Mr. Chitando said I can build you one house if you don't mind. And I said, mind, because it is my wish, and it was my wish, and still dying, that I want these children to live sort of a normal life with their mother, who is employed by ShunguDzevana, and do their household chores, not to live in a dormitory setup, that they can say, this is my bed, this is our bedroom, this is our kitchen, this is our dining. Someone didn't cook or wash plates, but when Mr. Chitando came in my life, now Honorable Chitando, because he's now a Minister of Mines, then he came in and he built that one block with 2 units. One Sunday I was in Mondoro when Mr. Msipa called me and said, Mr. Chitando said he's going to build you another house. So I've got 4 houses where our children can comfortably sit and say, this is our house. I can switch on the TV, I can sit on the chair, I can go in the start. We can cook on our own. So I can say he became our very big major sponsor through Mimosa Mining Company. But they become our very big major sponsor by building, setting up that children's village for the children, and also they chipped in to pay some school fees for few children, and we appreciate that, because this is our major problem of having children's fees paid and salaries for the staff. So here and there we get some people who come in, maybe say, buy you as a token. It's my tithe which I want to give to ShunguDzevana. We have a Higher Life Foundation. They are also paying fees for a lot of children. I think 23 of them. Their fees is being paid by Higher Life Foundation. The Higher Life Foundation, this is through Mr. and Mrs. Strive Masiwa. We have Homelink, who paid also for some few children school fees in Rio Tinto Mondo. So these are the people I can say are helping us. It is our wish if we could find some people who can pay fees, for more children, who can pay salaries for our staff. If we look at us today, I think we are owing NASA about $2,000, because we don't have enough money to pay for our staff. But with our mega resources, I'm happy, I'm thankful to God for whatever we are able to do in our very small way as a ShunguDzevana Trust. And we are always humbled that this child has managed to finish university, that is managed. I think this year will be 3 children, this coming April, will be 3 children who will be graduating. We have got 10 children who are at the university, different universities, in its first years, and doing different programs, but very challenging programs. And we are very grateful to God. And if I'm to tell you today, ShunguDzevana has got 109 graduates, Spaces College, teachers trainings, nurses training, and universities. So we are grateful to God, and we are very happy. In our small way, we are humbled, and we continue to say thank you, Lord.